Alright, welcome to Billy's Books. I'm going to do two books today, and they're both associated with 70s baseball. The first one is Big Hair in Plastic Grass. This is exclusively about 70s baseball and nothing but. It tells us the story of the dawn of the free agents, the biggest being Reggie Jackson, AstroTurf, which is very hard on the feet and legs and made for funny bounces. Doc Ellis's famous acid-laced no-hitter. Hot pants, not just for ladies, but the players on the field. Sometimes the men had to wear hot pants because with the crazy, freaky 70s, some of those owners tried to bring people into their dilapidated fields. And some of the way they did that was to bring some ladies along with it. And what better way to get ladies than to have baseball players in tight shorts and bright colors. And of course, there was a lot of big mustaches, Raleigh fingers being the legendary one. But back to the Reggie Jackson, the free agent. So Reggie Jackson was the first major league, or sort of, high-profile free agent. And he went from the A's, where all the mustaches were, to the Yankees, and butted heads with Billy Martin and George Steinbrenner. George Steinbrenner initially brought Reggie Jackson in, to the annoyance of Billy Martin, but then they eventually had a three-way headbutt and stuff, and it was pretty ugly and highly entertaining and very well documented, including some nationally televised fistfights. Great stuff. Anyway, one of the other things that one of the more featured interesting things was the 70s is known for disco, and there was a Disco Sucks party in Comiskey Park in Chicago, which brought a lot of people who normally didn't come to the ball game that night, and their reefer was everywhere and freaky and stuff, and they piled a whole bunch of disco records and blew them up in the outfield, which caused mayhem, and by the way, left a fucking crater in the field, so they refused to play after that until that was fixed. That was fun. And then of course more disco as We Are Family, 1979 Pirates, and them with their bright colors and freaky mustaches as well. A lot of great stories. It's told from a guy who lived through it and kind of was of that generation, so that's all very, very historical and entertaining. There's even the Pirates, back to the Pirates again, there was even they had a visit. They were the underdogs for a long time, and they even had a visit from comedian Dick Gregory. He gave them a pep talk, which helped them come from behind. So that was Big Hair in Plastic Grass. That's a history book, if you will, or baseball history, if you want to call that history. And then I got this other book by X-Files guy David Duchovny, normally the star of that, but he's also a writer. He fancies himself more of a writer than an actor, which is believable. Now, I thought this is going to be another baseball history thing about the Red Sox versus the Yankees in the 70s, and that's kind of the backdrop, but it turns out this is fiction. It's a father-son story, kind of sweet, kind of a, as you might guess if you ever saw David Duchovny, he's kind of an irreverent guy, so there's an irreverent writing style that I thought was just going to be clever, but it actually has a little bit of depth to it. Pathos, if I may. So Bucky fucking Dent is, he was a no-name baseball, a lower-level Yankees regular, and he turned out to be the he did a deciding play during a Red Sox versus Yankees game. Ever since then, it's a sense of irony that Red Sox fans all refer to Bucky Dent as Bucky fucking Dent, of all the people. So that's all in the backdrop, but the story is really about a middle-aged Yankees fan and his old dying Red Sox dad, and them sort of being estranged and getting back together again. And it's really pretty funny and pretty beautiful, and really gives you a good sense of what life in New York was like in the 70s. There's lots of cursing. It's pretty funny. Let me see else my notes here. Not much else, except that I would say that the whole 70s thing in New York is true. There are a couple anachronisms, like they refer to fist bumping, which I don't think was going on back then. More high fives and stuff like that. But I would say both these books are fun. This is kind of, it sort of jumps all over the place. It goes from year to year, chapter to chapter. whereas this is just a regular old novel that rolls right quick. It's got everything. I would say they're both enjoyable books for different reasons. I recommend them highly. I hope you enjoy it, and go Sox.